Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Bob Squarepants. Absorbent and yellow and inappropriate is he? Oh dear. We know that there are plenty of cartoons that squeeze in adult humor, but upon closer inspection, Bob Squarepants just might be one of the most twisted kid shows to ever grace our TV screens. It's also been dragged into a surprising amount of controversy.
There's no pulling crabs. Can't you see my peace offering?
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today, we're taking a look at the dark facts and truths about Bob Squarepants that will ruin your childhood.
La 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 la. I think I got it.
If you like what you're hearing, be sure to check out the full song at the link below. It isn't uncommon to see the occasional lewd joke being made in a children's cartoon. Anyone else remember the carpet munchers from Cow and Chicken?
We're the Buffalo Gals! Oh, the Buffalo Gals! A motorcycle riding gang that randomly bursts into people's homes and chews on their carpets!
SpongeBob, on the other hand, makes them pretty frequently. One of the earliest examples comes from the episode Texas, when SpongeBob and Patrick try to come up with ways to prevent Sandy from moving back to Texas. After Patrick suggests bringing Texas to Bikini Bottom, SpongeBob exclaims, "Patrick, your genius is showing," at which our pink starfish covers his crotch in a panic.
Well, let's go get some Texas and bring it down here.
Patrick, you can't. That's it. Patrick, your genius is showing.
Where?
And this is nothing compared to some of the other lewd and crude gags that show up in later episodes. Karate Choppers is another episode that arguably features subtle blue humor. You ever notice the way SpongeBob and Sandy talk about karate?
Is that enough?
Maybe just one more. Or two.
Or 3?
Or 10.
10! Yes, 10, because we're really hungry!
Right!
Well, try replacing the word karate with a different word, and the episode begins taking a different form. The two become so obsessed with their new activity that SpongeBob gets fired.
No more.
But Mr. Krabs,
Shh. No more of this karate stuff, lad, or you're fired.
And if that doesn't make you suspect that this episode is one 11-minute euphemism, you might want to rewatch the scene where SpongeBob and Sandy are doing karate over the phone.
Hello?
Of course, there's a ton of other obvious jokes throughout the show.
Frilly things. We hit the jackpot.
oh yeah, Mr. Krabs.
From the panty raid in Midlife Crustacean to SpongeBob's don't drop the soap joke in Gary Takes a Bath.
It's treasure. Look, doubloons. Don't drop them.
However, there's been one inappropriate ongoing gag in the series that may have flown over every kid's head: Squidward's nose. There are many moments in the show where Squidward's nose is flicked like a half-deflated balloon.
How could playing with one of those oversized hair dryers possibly be fun?
Like this.
Chafed.
In real life, squids have a siphon close to the beak used for locomotion. However, when the penis of a deep-sea squid elongates, it can protrude well past the beak, as long as its entire body, head, mantle, arms, and all. This has led some fans to look at Squidward's nose in a different light.
Oops.
Of course, despite his name, Squidward isn't actually a squid. He's an octopus. We might be overthinking this. Okay, we're definitely overthinking this, but that doesn't make the situation that much better. Like shallow water squids, a male octopus has a special arm used to reach into its mantle to collect spermatophores, which it then transfers to the female. So now we'll always be wondering, when did Squidward last wash his hands? Some fan theories have been debunked, but still make a lot of sense when we think about it. Take the nuclear test site theory, for example.
Let's eat. Oops.
The island we occasionally see above Bikini Bottom is named Bikini Atoll, which in the real world was a nuclear test site in the 1940s and 50s. It would be a disturbing backstory as to how the underwater city came to be. Plus, it would explain some of the random explosions from earlier episodes.
Oh, stupid jellyfish! Beat it! Whoa!
However, SpongeBob's voice actor Tom Kenny has debunked this theory. In an interview with HuffPost, Kenny confirmed that Bikini Bottom is named after Bikini Atoll, but clarified that SpongeBob and friends are not mutations. Rather, Bikini Bottom is a world of its own. The grim nature of the show doesn't end there. For years, we've been teased about the ingredients used to make a Krabby Patty. But what if the formula has a dark secret? And we ain't talking about how we like our burgers cooked.
I warned you.
There's a very plausible theory that Mr. Krabs may be a cannibal, and the parallels are damning. In the real world, it's common for crabs to fight, kill, and eat each other. While Eugene hasn't shown a lot of aggression, that doesn't explain why few crustaceans inhabit Bikini Bottom. Any crustacean that has appeared was either Larry the Lobster or a friend or relative of Eugene. So what if Mr. Krabs spends his downtime fighting other crabs and bringing them to the Krusty Krab to be cooked? It would explain the origin behind the Krabby Patty name and why the Krusty Krab looks a lot like a crab trap.
I got it. I got it. My diabolical, extremely convoluted plan worked. I should have been a politician.
Surprisingly, these jokes and fan theories aren't what has gotten our poorest pal in trouble with parents. In 2005, James C. Dobson, the founder of Christian organization Focus on the Family, criticized a video that featured SpongeBob alongside other cartoon characters as they promoted diversity and tolerance. He claimed that SpongeBob was being used to advocate homosexuality. Prior to this, series creator Steven Hillenburg had stated that SpongeBob was somewhat asexual.
What do you need?
Dobson later attempted to clarify that his real problem was with one of the video's sponsors, We Are Family Foundation, formed to educate kids about respect and cultural diversity in the wake of 9/11. The foundation's website, Dobson said, included links to LGBTQ+ rights organizations. For Dobson, that was damning. This wouldn't be the last time that SpongeBob was accused of pushing agendas. In 2005, Nickelodeon aired a SpongeBob short called The Endless Summer, where Mr. Krabs and SpongeBob release massive amounts of carbon dioxide and cause Bikini Bottom to become uninhabitable.
SpongeBob, you're wasting me precious carbon dioxide.
Carbon dioxide?
I'm pumping it into the atmosphere, boy.
6 years later, Fox News uncovered the episode and accused the show of pushing a liberal agenda, protesting that global warming was being presented as a fact.
Thanks to global warming, the temperature will soon go through the roof.
While SpongeBob has been controversial when it comes to hot-button topics, the show has also caused a stir regarding children's learning and cognitive abilities. In 2005, the episode Sailor Mouth came under fire by the Parents Television Council for allegedly making light of children using profanity and teaching kids it was okay to swear.
Dumpster writing. The voice of the people. Up with bubbles. Down with air.
4 years earlier, the PTC had listed SpongeBob SquarePants as one of the best cable TV shows of the 2001-2002 season, the same season Sailor Mouth debuted in.
Well, let's just say he said a certain word that you said he shouldn't say, and this particular word happens to be word number 11 in a list of 13 words that you said shouldn't be said.
SpongeBob would once again be blamed for being a negative influence after a study conducted in medical journal Pediatrics surfaced in 2011. The study showed incomplete episodes from 2 cartoons to 4-year-olds, reporting that those who watched SpongeBob had, quote, performed significantly worse on the executive function tasks.
I am so the boss of you!
Nickelodeon would respond by clarifying that SpongeBob is not meant to be watched by the same age group used in the study, and claimed that the study used questionable methodology.
You had to kill him.
What's odd about SpongeBob, however, is that none of this has been the show at its grimmest.
Stay back, whale! I'm privy to what you do to organisms like me. I've seen those documentaries!
People can be divided over any of the aforementioned episodes, but of them all, One Course Meal was SpongeBob at its ugliest. The plot revolves around Mr. Krabs discovering Plankton's fear of whales and using his phobia for cheap laughs. He torments him for so long that it causes Plankton to want to commit suicide.
What's the point of going on? I'll just be tortured for the rest of my life by that whale. That's it, I'm done. The 4:15 bus should be along any time now.
One Course Meal has gone down as the most despised episode in the show's history and the epitome of the show's declining quality in later years.
Secret fear?
What are you talking about?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Sure, we can accept that SpongeBob is a joyful yellow kitchen sponge under the sea.
Poised, confident, and a smile that says, "Hello, world, may I take your order?" You've got the makings of a good employee, Mr. Squarepants.
We can put a smile on our faces and allow ourselves to get lost in Bikini Bottom's flower-covered skies and jellyfish fields. But now that we're older and wiser, there may be more sinister things lying beneath the surface.
Come on. Move it!
What other cartoon shows characters going on a panty raid, living in a nuclear test site, or possibly cooking their own kind? Or maybe we're simply overanalyzing everything.
Okay, when you need a break from your delusional paranoia, the trash needs some attention. It's ripened.
Do you agree with our picks? Let us know in the comments. And hey, if you're a fan of the song playing right now, be sure to check out the music video for it right here.
Guess you're not. I just feel